Zoom for folks that are in, and that's for our members, and we will not broadcast caucus or sidebar. So we're back to ESP negotiations, and all right, in your court.
Okay, thank you. All right. So obviously we kind of hit a little bit of a stoppage point on Wednesday when we were here. So what we did is basically our ceiling hasn't changed. You know, we've been very transparent about we have reached our ceiling of what we can do. But being that it was so late that evening, we did go back and run some of the numbers because you don't always have the most up-to-date data,
Right.
because you get the employee accounts from, you know, once a month, where we have it almost daily.
Right.
So we were able, when we went back, you know, we were able to see that you had estimated the top step payment for 2,035 employees. And when we looked at current employee counts, we had 1,949 employees. So that was able to free up a little bit of funding, just a little, but it is something. So even though there's no change in our financial position, we wanted to, like we said, we're willing to go up to that ceiling, that freed up that additional $200 and some thousand. So we have a counter today that we're hoping will meet a lot of priorities. While we know it won't meet all priorities, we're hoping that it is something that everybody can feel good about, and at the same time know that whatever we weren't able to do this year, that those priorities obviously can be something that's looked at in the future. All right. I don't think I made enough copies for everybody.
That's okay.
I didn't know if everybody was going to be here.
Yeah, we have our ESP primarily here, so.
Oh, I need to make sure Julie gets one.
Here's one. I need one.
All right. All right.
You're not gonna check.
Perfect. Sorry. All right. So really just looking at it, and obviously I want you to look back over it, make sure that, because every time we retype, I think we're hitting the same things, but number one, obviously we've already discussed, is the 0.25% on the salary schedule, which I do have, which I did want to pass across as well, an updated version. There was, when the auditors audited it, it's a really hard sentence to get out, it for us, there was one cell, pay grade 25, level 1 was too low, so it was moved up to be 1.5%. So you'll see that on the old one, but this is the audited version from the auditors. Okay, so it looks exactly the same, except for pay grade 25, level 1 has changed from $18.38 to $18.46. Okay, all right, so I did want to bring that up. In addition, we know that all employees would move one step on their respective pay grades. Top step ESPs would receive a one-time payment of $2,000. All employees that are pay grade 15 would move to pay grade 16. Number 5, secretary 1 would be regraded from pay grade 16 to pay grade 17. Number 6, which we had already discussed, bilingual aides, kindergarten assistants, and micrographics clerk, of which there is one in the district, would be regraded from pay grade 17 to pay grade 18. Now, this is the new one that we were able to, with the money that had been freed up from the top step payment. We did add on number 7, which would be effective July 1, 2025. Data processors and registrars shall be regraded from pay grade 20 to pay grade 21 on the instructional support salary scale. In addition, we had already talked about registered nurses, LPNs, paraprofessional 3s, and office network computer specialists. So those are all the same. And then number 12 still references the schools of need. And then, of course, fingerprint monitoring and employee-only health insurance. So that is the additional offer that we have that we can bring today. But we are at our ceiling.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And
Thank
I think I see clearly what you did there on our number, our old number 10, for those that are following along from last time, where we talked about the importance of, I know Regina did a really great job of kind of highlighting the work of those data processes and registrars. So,
And the ones we weren't able to do, it's not because they're less important. It's nothing like that. It's just we can't do
understood.
all.
And I think, even our proposal, kind of with all the regrading was, looking at a portion of employees that we could do now. And our original proposal was a 2-year to try to look at how could we step that out over 2 years. So, we understand that as well.
Well, and there is a bigger picture too, as far as what it does as far as compressing. And it's not for you to solve for, but for example, even moving data processors and registrars up to pay grade 21, our principal secretaries are at pay grade 22.
Right.
So it's creating compression there. So that's something for us to look at, that we do have to look at it throughout the entire organization. The pay grades were originally created for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of a stair step.
Sure.
And every time we move one, then we have
Yeah.
to try to keep some of that
Yeah.
separation.
So I think, and I think it's, it all goes back to the compression that was created on those.
Yep.
Due to the $15 an hour. So,
No doubt.
we're trying to combat that. And I think we made, at least with, number 4, that's a monumental movement to get just completely collapse pay grade 15 and move away from a starting pay of $15 an hour. We know there's more we can do. And yeah, it's just kind of the reaction to compression one way. And, what can we do to kind of separate it in other places?
Yeah.
Can you just give me kind of a rough estimate of what the ESP alone total cost?
I can.
Okay.
Just give me a moment.
Yeah, I know. Just to get us a comparison. Where we were last time.
All right. I believe that this would bring the ESP offer to 4.3 million. And that does not account for schools of need, and it does not account for rehired retirees that maybe, because that we did also change that language as well.
All right. I think we will caucus and, let's see, it's about 10 till 5. Give us 5:30.
Okay.
That'll give us 30, 40 minutes. We're gonna go downstairs and all over the place, so. All right, if we can come back sooner, I'll let you know, but.
That would be great.
Yes. All right, for the caucus, our team went and reviewed everything, and I just, I want to say that I'm proud and thankful at the same time. I thank your team for going back on, is that Wednesday last week? It seems like a never ending day. And I know that we were all very tired and hangry. I know the pizza helped.
Thank you for the people.
Yeah, but I think that it was wise what we did to kind of pause for a minute, and the work that you all did to kind of go back and run those numbers. Cause yeah, our numbers are based on kind of a pool in the middle of the summer, and attrition can help with some of that. So, and just to kind of review, we came, looking at the regrade, for example, we recognize what you did there to try to focus on, a group of employees that we wanted to try to regrade this year. And we know that there were a lot of others that we proposed. And we came kind of showing that priority for a 2-year. We were trying to be creative with a 2-year agreement to try to say, okay, let's get as many done this year as we can and see what we can do in the second year. And so I think it's important to mark, I heard you say that you, on behalf of the school board's team, prioritizing those employees that we couldn't get this year, and that will absolutely be a priority of ours when we look to next year. I think the regrades are much needed. We recognize some of those compression issues, but like I said, it has to do with kind of what was done to us with the compression on the $15 an hour, and we look to prioritize those other positions. And also we had some discussion about other issues besides just pay, right? Especially when we look at kindergarten assistants, for example. We know we're moving our kindergarten assistants And then we've got our advanced degree kindergarten assistants that, you know, they're doing the same work as our kindergarten assistant. The difference is they have a little higher pay grade because of their advanced degree, but they're still doing that work, and they still have some workload issues. You know, one kindergarten assistant can have up to 4 to 5 teachers. We just heard from one site where, you know, they're gaining 2 more, they're gonna have 7 classes, and they're concerned that they're not gonna gain a unit for that kindergarten assistant. And so whether the advanced degree is there or not, you know, it's the workload, right? And we're dealing with class size and staff shortages. So, you know, those will be things that we're gonna try to look to next year as well. Some things, you know, whatever we can do creatively to help relieve some of those issues. So with all of that said, we're prepared to TA the agreement. Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. So, there is one aspect that it's not a deal breaker. It's just looking at there's a page in the contract, page 75, that deals with the one-time payments for, it's got the data processor and highly qualified parapro. I know we talked about this chef culinarian,
Mhm.
and I just kind of put a note by it that if that's not applicable to our unit, we
Yeah.
would remove it, but
Yeah.
that is just updating the dates there.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting, well, I was gonna say, 'cause, like, I think it's important for you to have for your appendix with that
Yes.
page.
Yes.
When we do the salary schedule, we do it for the entire organization, so we'll probably leave it in, but you'll wanna take it
Yes.
out for
Yeah.
your piece.
We just
that
want
what you're
to,
gonna
it's
say?
just,
Yeah, or we need to clarify it and do it by bargaining unit.
Yeah.
So that, like a separate page by
Mhm.
bargaining
Yeah.
unit, even if y'all wanna keep it. However,
Okay,
we talked about that internally. We gotta fix that
we gotta clean that up.
because it is confusing.
It is.
I'm just writing a note on the salary scale that if any audit changes are needed, the parties will come back together.
Perfect. Thank you. That. Oh, do you want a picture?
Okay.
Sure.
I know it's take,
All right, hold on. Which one's this one? Oh, ESPs, sorry.
that you like to take.
And I'll have Sherry make copies of it for you.
That's exciting.
Yeah, very good. I think it's a lot of, this is 11 sessions we've had counting today, and been a lot of long hours and, you know,
1100.
We started in May.
11 days.
We started April.
With ESP, we did because
Yeah,
it was,
that's
right.
because it was
That's
full
right.
book.
Yeah, so, and kudos to our, you know, our
Yeah.
support team that
Yeah.
has had to make tough decisions. And
Yeah.
again, thank you for all that. So I guess we're gonna do a picture. So
4.5 months.
it's all of our ESP.
What do you want to do? How do you want to do a picture, Tanya? Bargaining team, you come on around here.
ESP.
I don't know, I think we have something else to sign. for.
Yeah, we do.
We did not,
We still have instructions.
we didn't do instructional
We
yet.
did.
Unless we.
Then we just do one perfect.
Oh, if you want to.
I like that idea.
So,
I won't say any more.
we will just take like a quick, we're just gonna take like a, we're gonna take like a 5-10 minute like break to kind of or you need to
We do.
just, yeah.
Okay,
so-
got it.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's do that. Then we take one big group picture.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. we
If things
do too.
go. This one, not as many.
Yeah.
Many times on instructional.
Yeah. Okay, so now getting back to instructional, I know as just kind of a summary, our last session, you know, HCT had countered and you all had accepted our last counter. So I did during the caucus, we shared, you know, a copy of the document. We can
Yep.
review it, and if there's any typos or anything, we can fix that.
Okay.
Because I know some folks may have been here last time, but just like we did for the ESP, just kind of reviewing quickly. So
Okay.
number 1 is that effective July 1, 2025, all instructional salaries scheduled agreed upon shall be updated and included in appendix C of the collective bargaining agreement.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Is it C or A? Because on mine I've been saying A and yours has been saying
it's
C and
C.
I don't know which one it is.
So let's just look at,
Oh,
we'll pull up a current copy of the instruction. I think I might have originally put A and.
is that what it
C.
was? Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I just used that.
So look at.
When I just compared ours downstairs, I was like, that was really one of the only differences I saw.
Yeah. So appendix A is, we kind of reserve that. Eventually we put like the list of the unit that's represented.
Okay,
Cause I know Kelly's not here, but you kind of helped me a little bit last year as we were dealing with PERC. You know, there's a lot of new positions that haven't been added, and part of it is just, you know, we say classroom teachers, or PERC has classroom teachers, but we also have, you know,
Yeah.
50 positions that are, anyway.
So
So
it is
an
B.
appendix B is the grievance form, and appendix C is the salary schedule.
Got it.
So, and just to kind of summarize where we are in the instructional salary schedule, that is adding $350 to the base pay for 10-month. And I think it came out to 447, I believe, for 12-month. Yeah, 447 for a 12-month, which is then kind of calculated based on hourly rates across to the student services schedule.
and that's the one that I want us just to put the note on because, when our analyst for compensation, she thought it was supposed to be 406, but we'll have the auditor look at what it's, we said we want to do the same differential as it is
Right,
now.
Right.
So whatever that is. So,
Yeah, we'll double check.
yeah, that's fine.
And I can double check my math too. And then, you know, salary schedules A and B, which are old scales, they're not in the packet to TA because there will be no changes to them. And then number 2, effective July 1, 2025, employees in the instructional bargaining unit shall be credited with 1 year of experience and shall advance 1 step on their respective salary schedules accordingly. And eligible employees must have worked half a year plus a day and have an effective evaluation for the 24-25 school year. Number 3 is effective July 1, 2025. This is the employees at the top of their respective salary schedule receive the one-time top step payment of $2,000 as an additional payment to employee-based pay. The payment will be made no later than the end of the first semester. You know, if that's sooner, great. Eligible employees must have worked half a year plus a day and have an effective evaluation for the 24-25 school year. Number 4 is the $750 additional payment for all of our licensed schools, student services.
Yep.
Licensed school psychologists, nationally certified school psychologists, licensed mental health counselors, licensed SLP, licensed audiologist, licensed school social worker, licensed mental health clinician, licensed OT, PT, or certified behavior analyst will receive that one-time payment. And they must have worked, again, half a year plus a day and be a current active employee at the time of payment.
And I know we said this earlier, but again, no one's, if you have 2 of them,
Right.
you're still only eligible
right.
for 1.
Yes, that's what it says
Licensure,
for.
yeah.
Number 5, effective July 1, 2025. This is for SLPs with their ASHA Cs.
One,
Mhm.
in my copy, it also says an audiologist, so if we can add that in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we discovered that last time that it should be eligible SLPs and audiologists.
And
There's only a handful of.
okay. Number 6, this is for the ESE instructional employees in the list of attached job codes and all instructional employees that are exceptional centers. And that is not just ESE employees, that's all instructional staff, which could be student services assigned there, you know, other teachers besides the ESE job codes. And school psychologists will receive an additional one-time ESE critical shortage supplement of, that should be
Yep.
1,500. 1,250. Strike that too. To be paid at the conclusion of the 25-26 school year, and this payment is a supplement to employee-based pay, and eligibility must be a current active employee at the time of payment. Number 7 is the $1,000 additional payment for our national board based on their approved mentoring and training through the professional learning department. And this one would be made after submission and approval of all required documents, and they must be current active employee at the time of payment. And then number 8 is just codifying the national board $4,500 payment for those employees in the transformation network, the national board teachers in the transformation network schools. And again, that is paid no later than the conclusion of the 25-26 school year and must be current active employment at the time of payment. Number 9, this is in accordance with 3.4.6. So for the 25-26 school year, any instructional unit employee assigned to substitute duty during their planning, choosing to be compensated shall be paid at the rate of $20 per hour. And then number 10 is for the designated schools of need, which are included here as well, shall be paid the salary differential of $2,000. And eligibility shall be determined by an effective or higher evaluation rating and certification for the assignment. And we have a MOU that we will, I think, probably TA today. And then, of course, number 11 is for maintaining the no premium option employee only health plan. And then number 12 is fingerprint monitoring. So the job codes are there. You've been able to review that. And then the list of designated schools of need are there. And then I think if we TA all the salary schedules, again, we'll put that same note that like any audited changes need will come back together. Look at that before we put it out. We'll
Can I
talk
bring
about-
up one other thing? I think, and remind me, this is how I understood it, the 4,500 for the National Board Certified, it's for transformation and designated schools of need.
Yeah, I think we had put that in the MOU.
Okay,
but
do you want to,
we
I
can
think we
also
should put it here too, just so there's
information at
not,
schools and designated schools of need.
because it does say it in the transformation MOU, and that way it's all saying the same thing in all the places.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that one.
Okay. So if you want, we can TA this and then we can make a clean
Make a
copy.
clean copy, like add in the audiologist and add in.
What about some-
What about them? The
Yeah.
1,000 bed for.
Yeah. Sorry?
Oh, yes, we have that on the salary
Yeah, yeah,
schedule. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. I'm
yeah,
getting all-
and the
no.
1,000 to the top from 20 to 25.
Yeah.
we've already done that.
So that, okay, so let's just say for the record, the instructional salary schedules that we've been proposing and passing back and forth.
Yes.
And on the ones that we will TA, and you've seen these, I just kind of condensed them. We took out all the number of employees and costs. We highlighted those steps 20 through 25 on the student services salary schedules that the last 2 years have received a one-time $1,000 supplement.
Right.
This year, we're embedding that $1,000. We've taken that and divided it over the number of days, and added that into the employee base pay. And again, we're gonna audit these to make sure they're all correct. based
One
on
of the
198.
columns said master's, doctorate. Wait, help me find it. Instead of master's specialist doctorate.
Master's, specialist, doctorate, master's. Maybe I gave you a wrong one.
Okay, good. I had
Yeah.
one, I'd written it on a note on mine, fix it.
Yeah, it's probably my fault.
Yeah.
98, 198, 205, 253. And so it's not a one-time payment, right? It's a permanent fix to the base pay. So it's going on to the salary schedule for those top steps. Correct. And then I got a note about ESE centers. The ESE centers are included in the ESE instructional supplement, for 25-26 for $1,500. That's correct. So that's got the attached job codes, which are in the agreement, access points, diagnosticians, behavior support, hearing impaired, hospital homebound, pre-K ESE, SLH, ESE specialists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, VE, visually impaired, ESE DRTs, ESE staffing specialists, ESE transition specialist, audiologist, and school psychologist. And then it does say very clearly, all instructional employees at our exceptional centers, Caminiti, Carver, Dorothy Thomas, Eisenhower, Lavoy, Lopez, Peters, and Simmons are included in this payment. All right, so. Instructional, are you doing that? I think those.
And you're gonna put the note on these about the course in
yeah.
the back somewhere?
You want me to,
No, I bet.
before I PA at all?
I trust you.
Of course it was. Let me show you. It's just this little part under here.
You don't want to change it to. it says
Oh,
doctorate.
yeah, okay. I was looking at the top.
Yeah. We just put the note on one page of it. We'll
Yeah.
know that it's for all of them.
I forgot some more things.
This row for all salary schedules, any audited changes needed, the parties will
Yeah.
TA any changes.
Yeah.
Right. So we'll get a clean copy of that. I know we all,
Then we'll
I
all
know
sign
we
it.
signed it, but we'll sign
We'll
it
sign a
again.
clean one. Yep.
And then, the only other thing I had were some of the supplement pages and
Oh,
all
yeah.
those other. Maybe I left them downstairs. I might have to go grab those.
That's for the student services supplement
So
and
it
the
is- yeah,
ESC
so-
contact.
Yeah, so we still need to TA the, ESE contact increase, the student services team lead, and the, increase to the ESY ELP, and, strike the Renaissance. So those
Okay.
are those things that I need to have, and I thought I had them with me, but
okay.
they're probably sitting on my desk.
You want to do it
But
after? You want to take the picture and then while we're waiting for the clean copy?
sure, or we could look at the
How do you want to do it?
need MOU.
Up to you.
Needs to be. I don't know, it's up to you all. Do you want to do a picture now or?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's pause briefly for like a quick photo caucus. We'll take a picture and then I'll go grab those documents.
Okay.
So we'll be. All right, so Grab my copy, so just to kind of wrap up instructional, this is 18.1.2. This is the salary for any, we did add any instructional employee hired for summer staffing. That's the extended year ESY, extended learning program ELP, shall be paid at a fixed rate of $30 per hour or higher amount based on grant funding mutually agreed to by the parties for the number of hours assigned to work for these programs. Just one clarifying question on this, because you've already got it. We know in our economic agreement, it's all been retro to July 1, 2025. So the question we've already been getting is if this would be retro.
Yes,
Okay. I'm just gonna put a note here.
that was the intent.
Yeah, I just wanted to be very, very clear.
I don't know
the
that
answer.
very much retro, ELP has already started, but they will have started, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, anyway,
Yep.
okay. All right, so continue this. Here's this one. The next one coming is 20.1.3, where we're just adding student services team leader. This is a group 2 supplement, student services team leader and ESE contact / team leader. So the, and then I will get the corresponding page. Since we're doing supplements on this page, which I'll hand to you. I'm gonna pass you then the supplement list where we're just updating the dates for 25 and 26. For advanced degree supplements, they'll continue, no changes there. And then sponsorship supplements, no changes there for 25, 26. That's the first page. The next page coming will be the instructional special assignment supplements, and this is where we're adding ESE contact, where it currently says ESC team leader, but we're adding contact there. That is increasing from $848.71 to $1,120.01. And then we are also adding the student services team leader here for $848.77. I didn't know the code,
We'll have to create one.
so we'll just put a note there. So that code once created. And then the others are just the athletic supplement dates. And then the last page of the supplements are just the rest of the high school and middle school date updates, no other changes. Okay, and then the next is, this is page 69, at least at this point. This is 22.47 and 22.48, which is the expired language for Renaissance schools.
So at this point, both contracts don't have any Renaissance language in the contract, correct?
I believe so. Did we take it out of the ESP? I can't remember, honestly, at this
We
time.
did.
Right? Yep.
And that was because we have now
Because it's
designated
annually
schools of need.
talked about, correct?
And then the last 2 pages I have here are just the instructional A and B set schedule, just updating the dates. No changes to the schedule, just the dates on the salary scale. Okay, the last thing I have, or shared a copy of those, is the designated schools of need. I know we've kind of been going back and forth on this, and we've shared the copies. There's one piece we added in the copy that you sent, so.
Okay.
We'll go over that. I think everybody got copies of this back there, yeah. All right. Yeah, they're correlated. Here. Right, and we do have Kelly's name on here, although she's not here, so we could TA it and then.
TA
Yeah.
and get her to sign.
Yeah.
She will be.
In case there's any typos.
Yep.
So this is part of the economic agreement for both units where we talked about having an MOU for the designated schools of need. And I'm just gonna read through it in case there's any typos we need to address now. So whereas the Hillsborough County School Board, here referred to as the district, and the Hillsborough Classroom Teachers Association, here referred to as the union or HCTA, are parties to collective bargaining agreements for both instructional and education supports. Professional staff as defined by the Public Employee Relations Commission, and whereas the parties are committed to providing an outstanding educational experience for all learners in Hillsborough County Public Schools, and whereas the parties desire to identify and redefine Renaissance schools as designated schools of need that meet set criteria demonstrating need for additional support to facilitate student growth and success. And then there'll be the attached list, which we can just double, triple check. That's okay. Now therefore, the parties agree as follows for the 2025-2026 school year. All right, designated schools of need, number one, the parties agree that fully staffing designated schools of need with effective and highly effective educators and paraprofessionals for the 2025-2026 school year is critical to supporting high student achievement outcomes. In an effort to fully staff these schools with such personnel, the parties agree as follows. For the 2025-2026 school year, highly qualified teachers and paraprofessionals who work in the attached list of designated schools of need shall be eligible for a salary differential as a supplement to employee-based pay. B, eligibility for teachers shall be determined by an effective or higher evaluation rating and certification for assignment. Eligibility for paraprofessionals shall be determined by highly qualified status as defined by state and federal statute, and we will have that attached list. And then D, the differential for the 25-26 school year shall be as follows. Eligible instructional employees shall be 2,000. Eligible paraprofessional employees shall be 750. Letter E, national board certified teachers who teach in a designated school and in designated schools of need shall receive an additional salary supplement of 4,500 for the 25-26 school year. F, the first payment will occur on or before December 19th, 2025. The second payment will occur at the conclusion of the 25-26 school year, but no later than May 29th, 2026. Staff must be hired prior to FTE Survey 2 for the date certain of October 17th, 2025. Complete the entire semester and be in an active status at the time of payment. Employees hired after Survey 2 and prior to Survey 3 will receive second semester payment. Letter G is our addition, which we had proposed in our last one. The payment to employees shall be considered a salary additive and paid pursuant to this MOU and paid equally to eligible employees as defined above in B, C, and E, as long as the employee continues to work at the designated schools of need as defined in F. And this is just to be very clear. I know we've had some confusion over where it says in letter A, that schools of need shall be, the employee shall be eligible for a salary differential as a supplement to employee-based pay. And there's been confusion over FRS eligibility. So that language is there to ensure that this payment is an FRS eligible salary additive. So that's what G is for.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll consult with Mr. Gibson real quick. The only, no matter what we put in an MOU, the salary additive criteria is what the salary additive criteria is, and we would run it through that criteria. And if it is eligible, then it is, and if it's not, then it's not. So I don't know how this makes it eligible versus if it's not.
Well, we don't either, because you continue to send us this criteria, which is guidelines, which don't actually answer the question of when or if it is. It just says these are guidelines. And then we're told that after it's run through, we get some answer, but we don't hear that answer. We just are told, sorry. So the goal here, and we're being very clear here with this one, which we have been in the past, that if it's a supplement to employee-based pay and it's paid according to a policy and it's paid equally to those employees that are eligible, as we've lined, those are all those guidelines that we read through that language that you've sent to us, that's in that book. So that's the purpose of that language. And then number 2 there has to do with the parties agree that the designated schools of need is only agreed upon for the 25-26 school year. And then any continuation in future years will be part of established bargaining process. And the parties agree to establish a joint designated schools of need committee to provide recommendations to be considered when determining criteria as well as expectations for employee working in these schools. That'll be further development of that criteria and some of the changes that we want to do.
Okay.
So that's that. And the goal would be to try to have this as part of the ratification package, rather than having to run it another
Understood.
one later on.
Okay.
So,
Well, we'll take your suggestion and you have our suggestion, and then we will do what we've done in the past with MOUs and kind of go back and forth until we have a landing spot. And hopefully we'll be able to get it to a landing spot before the ratification package goes out.
yeah.
Right.
So, and then kind of speaking of ratification,
Yes.
you know, I think if we're, you know, some of the work has to happen where we kind of eyeball everything and make sure all the updates are there.
Yeah.
I know we're motivated to try to get that out by next week, but I think it is gonna depend on how quickly. And I know Sherry, what she's been doing is as TAs have been coming in, she's been putting them in. So we'll wanna look at that and make sure what we actually TA'd and the changes that are gonna happen in strikes in addition, because sometimes what we've scribbled on, you know, there's lots of strikes and lots of ads, and then what it actually comes down to.
Understood.
And that way employees can see that language, what it was and what it is gonna be.
Well, and the target would be that obviously the next board meeting is September 30th
Mhm.
after tomorrow.
Yeah.
It gets released to the public the week before. So in order to go on the September 30th, board agenda,
Yeah.
everything would have to be done by
Yeah.
that, before that date.
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
motivated to try to, so you would need it by the 23rd?
23rd.
At the,
I mean,
latest.
it gets released to the
Preferable, yeah,
public on the
released to the
23rd,
public.
so.
so like, the
Something that
agenda
they-
items are already
Let's just,
being reviewed for
yeah,
the
gives me
30th
just a
now.
little bit of.
But HR can go ahead and put the holding places
Yeah.
on there,
Hold it.
because otherwise the next one is not until October.
Because if we run, I mean, typically we run ratification for 10 days, is that correct? And that's
A week?
including weekends? Like.
Yeah.
So,
You have to do attendance.
18, 17, 18.
so if this week, so the goal would be like by the end of this week to have it in a place where it's, okay, that's good, those are the agreements. And then we could open it up like on Saturday, which would give us 10 days. And the reason we do 10 days is to give plenty of
That's pretty soon.
opportunity for as many employees to vote as
We'll get it
possible.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we want it to get done because
Yeah.
we want employees to be able to get their increases.
sure.
And I know that's in your control, whether you want to run a full 10-day ratification or other unions do 5, but that's up to you. That's in your control. We're not going
I
to,
mean, it's, we've done it for,
since you've been, but I don't think before, but that's, okay. Whatever you guys decide is up to you. We just
huh?
would like to have it on that September 30th
Yeah,
because
we would too. I think it's a like what I'm trying to say is the teamwork that we have to do between now and whenever we
Sure.
run ratification is to make sure that the documents are, what we're
absolutely
putting out for ratification is what it's gonna be.
100%.
To the best of our ability. We know
Yeah.
sometimes there are a grammatical error here or there, but as long as, you know, and then making sure the audits look good on those salary schedules, because there's a lot.
If you send us the salary schedules electronically
Yeah.
tonight, then we'll be able to send them to the auditor tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I put them all into one spreadsheet, so.
Yeah.
A little bit crazy, so.
And Kelly we will work
Back
together,
at it.
Kelly and I, to make
Mhm.
sure that we look over everything that you send us and
Yeah.
we'll be ready to go.
And maybe I know we have a labor management meeting on Thursday, maybe by then we'll be in some place with this MOU to throw that into for application. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.